y'all, 118 Seth Shadow here. So, there are a number of items to cover for today, so let's go ahead and get straight into it. So, by the end of this month, we are going to have the release of the new Stride deck sets for both Harry and Night Rose, bringing in new Dark States and our first Stoicheia Stride deck set since the beginning of Standard. In terms of where prices are right now for the pre-sales, when it comes to the Stride deck sets, they're starting off above $60, which is not unexpected. And then when it comes to the premium deck sets, it's different between Harry and Night Rose, as Night Rose is definitely the more popular of the two. Harry is starting around $194, and then for the regular deck set, it's about $69. Their market prices are currently higher than that. And then when it comes to Night Rose, the regular Stride deck set's around $69, which is around the market price as well. And then the premium deck set, well, the current pricing is higher than the market price by about $5, but it's $215 to begin with right now. As I mentioned, it's very likely Night Rose is going to be the more popular of the two, particularly when it comes to Standard, and especially because it's our first Stoicheia Stride deck set too. Steam Gunner Tizcar has become the most expensive of the energy cyclers that came out of Fated Clash. Even with the second printing of Fated Clash, Tizcar is now a base of $52, including its current market price. And then when it comes to the Silver Rare and FFR, the Silver Rare is currently at a base price of $65, but the market price is only $43 right now. There are only 3 listings available as well. And the FFR is currently at 2 listings starting from $100, and the market price there is about $76. Then we've got Varga Dragus Raksha, which has been shifting around in price a lot, as well as the number of listings on the base triple rare. Right now we're looking at $17, which is around the market price as well. There are only 2 silver rare listings on the market right now, starting from $32. There has been a drop-off on the base listing for the DSR at $400, where the market price is closer to $450. And then there's a secret rare as well as the FFR available, so there are a lot of different rarity options to choose from, keeping the overall price down when it comes to a lot of the different variants you can pick up. Ultimately, the DSR is still the biggest in terms of overall rarity, while the silver rare is the second highest. Blessed Dragon God Weltus is still moving back and forth from the high single dollar digits to just getting over $10. Right now, we're looking at a base of 12, and the market price on that one is just above 11, while the silver rare is still sitting around $18 for its base price and only 6 listings. It is higher than its market price right now, which is about $14.50. And a note that I had heard about for the recent Canada BCS is that it looks like the finals for that one turned out to be Rezael versus Levy, which has been kind of typical. The expectation has been that Rezael and Levy would be the most represented as of set 5, and it looks like the results have not put a damper on that expectation. On the topic of Levy one of its biggest support cards, Onfall Antogaster. This is from set 4 and is still not too bad in terms of its pricing. The triple rare is currently at a base of $11.50. It's lower than the market price right now, which is $13.10. And then the silver rare, on the other hand, has jumped up to $27, but a market price rate of $17. While the FFR has also jumped up quite a bit to just over $72, and the market price on that one's $43. Another card that's been moving up in price is the Regulus piece Radiance Caliburn from Festival Booster 2024. This is the Regulus piece that either allows you to Pot of Greed, which is draw 2 cards, or you put this card into the soul to countercharge. So it basically provides you with 2 resources, no matter how you choose to use it. In terms of pricing on this one, the base price is now $30 with only 8 listings on the market, and the market price has been seeing a massive increase from what we're looking at, which was around $17, and the market price is now just around $30. And if we take a look at available listings. They all start from 30, and then they move their way up to 36, and then all the way up to 40. So be careful. This card is still moving up, and because it's from Festival Collection, it's not likely to get a reprint anytime soon if it's basically anything like Forbital. Another card to point out is Sagacious Schemer, which is one of the Dark States double rares that you can pick up from Festival 2024 for the order pairs. This one is down to 9 listings overall and is back up in price to about $550, just a little bit above that. Whereas the market price has been on a downturn, even though volume has seen a spike recently. The market price started out just over $4 and it's dropped to about $3.80, but it hit a high of around $5 on the last few months. Now all the listings available start from around $5.55 depending on shipping, and they're still consolidated around $4, but then that one has a higher shipping tag associated with it. But in comparison, its order pair, Game of the Underworld, is very easy to pick up. We're still looking at around $350 for the base listing, but in comparison to Schemer, there are 23 listings on this one, so there are more copies available. And market price wise, this one saw a bigger jump overall, where it started out at just over $2 and it's ended up just under $4 right now. But it did hit close to a $5 market price earlier in the end of last year. When it comes to what we're looking at for consolidation, there isn't much consolidation on the first page. Mostly gets to $3.25 and then $5. And I guess the heavier consolidations on the first page is actually $5. And then we have the light over trigger, Meritzandla, where I'll note again that for DivineZ 7, the over triggers from Festival 2024 are getting reprinted in there. But that hasn't stopped players from picking them up at this point. I mean, it is going to be a while before we get DivineZ 7, so anybody who needs these over triggers now between the light and dark over triggers are going to need to pick them up at this point. But even in that situation, the market price has still been on a downturn, and we're looking at just under $5 in comparison to back in October when it moved from $5.30 to over $5.50. Consolidation-wise, the card is now at $5.50 and it does have some listings at $4. But actually, my listing is the cheapest until you count the shipping. But then I have a few quantities, so in any case, $4 is the cheapest base price without the shipping, and then otherwise it's basically a $5 to $6 card. So even if you were to buy it from me, for instance, it would effectively be $5.50, which is the base price right now. Knight of Bowstreak's Nilbaris' triple rare has been seeing a decrease in value on its listings, but overall is still high up there, and with Rezile's popularity, no surprise overall. We do have listings underneath $20 right now, but market price is at $29, and when we take a look at overall listings, only 2 of them are under 20, and then they still make their way back up to about 23 after that. Although there is a $21 one with a few copies available. And if we take a look at price history, we're looking at the latest have still been $23 to $28 for the most part. So even though it's been on a bit of a downturn, we'll just have to see where it goes. Even with the Stride deck sets incoming, DivineZ 5 had come in the meta after the deck sets in Japan, so there's still a lot of playability for decks that come out of DivineZ 5. Something that has failed to really take off from DivineZ 2, though, is Battle Siren Eltheria. There has been some hype around this card every so often for being a generic to consider for Stoicheia, especially since it's an energy generator, and then overall being from DivineZ 2 pluses its value just because it'll be harder to pick up down the line if players want to actually use this. But there are 34 listings on the triple rare, starting from around 3, and then they go up to the FFR, which is down to 2 listings, but a base price of just over $9.50. So again, there's no heavy playability of this card right now, but I mean, there will always be some triple rares like that, even with sets like DivineZ 2. So it really just depends on when this card ever gets a popularity boost due to the fact that someone decided to play it in something big. With Rooroa coming up with DivineZ 6, there has been a decrease in listings and an increase in pricing on the different variants of Rad Lena. Now, both variants, the Grade 2 and the Grade 3, have reprints that come out of Triple Drive, but even those are kind of short on listings, and overall, we're likely to see an increase on them as a result. Even if you take a look at the Grade 3 from Minerva Rising, that one has a base price higher than the market price of about 20 cents. And then the original Grade 2 is down to 8 listings starting from $2, which is higher than its market price as well, which is lower than $150. The Triple Drive reprints have far less listings in comparison. And right now there is a cheaper one than the market price on the Grade 3, unless, let me see here. Overall, there are only 3 copies of that Grade 3 reprint, which basically become over $1 a piece anyway. Rooroa is not likely to be a big meta contender, but it is the only glitter that's getting a new form in DivineZ 6, so that also builds on its hype just to play. To that same point, Knight of Evil / Mayrig, which is one of the promos for Tigreya, is also selling pretty well in value recently when it comes to its base form. We're not even going to talk about the foil at this point. The base rarity, I should say, is currently around $17 base price, and the market price has increased to 14, just above 14, and we have 7 listings on that. So while I don't think there's going to be a heavy usage of Tigreya even after DivineZ 6, and the same would go for most of the other glitters, I mean, this is the last hurrah for glitters, as the overall arc is over, with the lore kind of indicating that they've just fallen out. Only Rooroa has survived, I think, in terms of the lore, and all the other characters have just kind of... things happened. Talking a little bit about the promos from the BCS, in particular some of the characters. So we've talked about Now already, but let's take a look at where some of the other ones are. I guess we are going to be going over more waifu characters, though, like Hikari Myodo. The heal trigger for this one has no listings on the market right now and has a market price of $250. And there's only been one listing on the market, the only one that's sold as well, at $250. So this card is, well, we just don't have that much to talk about on it. Then we've got Mikoto Saito, who is the lyrical character of the Faded series. Right now, the base price on that one is $200, and we have only one sale at $195. 2 listings overall that are both basically $200 as well. Then, when it comes to frame rares from Divine Clash, in particular, I want to go over the perfect guards that are available here, because we have been seeing some bigger movements on some of them. For instance, Dark State's Ridicule Disruptor has no listings on the market right now and has a market price above $8. Honeycomb Theorist is Stoichea's and is currently a base of around $7, which is higher than its market price of just over $6. You've got Seltlan, which is for Cater Sanctuary. $4 is the cheapest price and 13 listings on that one. Then you've got Strogalmars, which is for Brandt Gate. 11 listings starting from $550. And then for Dragon Empire, you have Monju, the monk, at just under $6 with 9 listings on that one. The World is a Blue Research Lab has no stock on either of its base rarities, from the Triple Drive reprint to the original from Minerva's Rising. Their market prices are around $3 each respectively, and they're just completely gone now. I guess Edglima, the Bat deck, really just demanded a lot of sales on this one, and I know I covered this more recently, but I can't remember how much stock there was on it when I last covered it. Safe to say that it wasn't ridiculously high, but at the same time, I don't think it was at the point of a buyout. I can't remember for sure. But the FR from Minerva Rising is still available, although the price has seen a rise and is now close to $9 for its base. 5 listings left, and the market price on that one is just over $6. Another thing that's been back on a buyout, apparently, is Bipolar Nebula, the order cycler from set 11. $6 is now the base price on this one, but we still have 19 listings, so it's intriguing to me to see so many listings on this one, which has notoriously been not as popular, and it just keeps moving up and down so many times. It's consolidated around $7 right now, and when we look at the actual sales, players have been picking this up more recently for $6 to $7, though mostly they've been picking it up for closer to $3. So I would imagine we'll see it go back down, but I guess I don't know what's really driving that right now. But Seraph Purelight is also looking at a buyout right now where we do have a good number of listings, but the price has been increasing between the original from set 4 and the reprint from Triple Drive. They're now $12 to $17 for their brace pricing, while their market prices are just under $9. And then if you want the SSR, there are only 2 listings from $225 to start with, and the SP is currently at a base of $65. But some good news, and our last item to wrap up for today is Virina Espiridia, which has seen a drop-off in value and now has listings as low as just under $550, and it's in the double digits for how many are available. The SP is currently available for just around $30, while the DSR still only has 5 listings on the market, and its market price is still around $129. So if you were looking to pick this up for any applicable play, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Virina to eventually get some new support down the line, so might be nice to just have a playset of these just to be on the safe side. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.